and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we've got Fog of War to have a look at today in the form of a puzzle called Dutch Summer. And this is by Tim Hasselaar, which is a new name to me. Well, no, not a new name. I've never solved a puzzle by Tim before. Mark has. I remember watching Mark's video about a couple of weeks ago, I think. So I think Tim is relatively new to the world of Sudoku constructing. But this apparently is a lovely puzzle. It's themed, unsurprisingly, with its name, around the Netherlands and the bad weather and fog, apparently, that they can get there. These are Dutch whispers lines for those of you who are familiar with such things. But we'll have a look at this together in a moment or two's time. Apparently 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty is where the 2 testers who've had a look at it placed it. So it shouldn't be monstrous. But you never know. You never know. I've done a couple of puzzles this week. Well, Marty's puzzle yesterday, the latest rat run, was fantastic with a sort of expanding palindrome line. And that took me, how long did that take me? About 75 minutes. And then the day before, Las for One created an absolutely filthily difficult puzzle that took me 3 hours and something. So if you like your long Cracking the Cryptic videos, there are a couple of options there. I'm hoping this one won't be as bad. But anyway, we'll read the rules together in a moment or two's time. What can I tell you about before that? Well, actually, there's Mark and I are going to do a bonus stream. I hinted that this might happen yesterday, but the response to the quiz that we ran was such that it did suggest that people might like to have a look at which one is it? The Artisan of Glimmith, which is a brand new game, a brand new puzzle game by the people behind the old puzzle game Islands of Insight, which was full of handmade logical puzzles. So sort of absolutely the sort of thing that we love. So at 10 p.m. tonight, UK time, technology allowing, Mark and I are going to visit this world. We wanted to do it. We wanted to do it soon because obviously the game is new, but we didn't want to replace the blueprint streams that I know some of you have looked forward to every week. So we are going to be blueprinting on Monday night as well. So this is a two stream week for us. I don't think Aliens Rock needs to worry quite yet. But anyway, this is what we're going to do tonight. So do join us if you're free. What else can I tell you about? Well, we are closing in on the 20th of the month, and the 20th is the closing date for Blobs's Sudoku competition, which is running at the moment over on Patreon. You had to solve 12 puzzles themed around indexing. This was the position as of, where were we? 817. Where are we now? 881. That's amazing. I think we might get to 1,000 by the close of play tomorrow. It's just terrific. I love the fact that so many people over on Patreon really give these puzzles a full effort. And I wish a lot of luck to those 920. Well, what's the difference between 926? 45. It's the secret difference between 926 and 881. I wish all of those people luck with getting Puzzle 12 done and getting their solutions to us and giving themselves a chance to win the competition. If you haven't started yet, would you get through all 12 by the end of tomorrow? Yeah, you would. You would. Believe it or not. When the puzzles went live, which was on the 1st, it was only a couple of hours before we had submissions in. So some people can do 12 Sudoku puzzles very, very fast indeed. Anyway, I digress. Let's move swiftly on. And I will tell you about. Oh, actually, the other thing over on Patreon is the very long video solve that Mark and I did of the Sudoku puzzle blueprints. So that's another long video if you're interested in such things. But birthdays. Yesterday I had no birthdays, which is a first for a long time. But today I have 3, well 4 actually. Brooke, you've turned 25 today. And I know this because your friend Henry wrote to me. And apparently, Brooke, I can't believe this is true, but Brooke is a bit jealous of Henry because Henry got to meet us virtually via his internship. And I've been trying to work out how that happened. Because Mark and I do sometimes talk, especially to students. I remember we did a sort of session with Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards, who are maths professors over in the Carolinas. So it could have been through that. Oh, actually, no, I did a session as well with a... Oh, that's reminded me. Yeah, I did something, but I can't remember which company it was. Anyway, I do sometimes talk to interns and things like that, and give them the very, very limited benefit of my experience, which I can sum up. The too long don't read version of it is that do something that you enjoy. That is my advice. Oh my goodness, there's some sort of combine harvester coming into got sort of a farmer's field very near my house. There's a combine harvester approaching. It can't be Maverick on the ground, can it? Oh goodness, I'm sorry if you can hear a bit of combine harvesting noise. There's little I can do about it. Anyway, Brooke, let's return to your birthday. I'm sorry. Henry says, you are amazing at solving. And apparently you've got involved in blueprints recently, and you're down that blueprints rabbit hole as well. So, Brooke, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. I hope that the chocolate cake is splendid. Many happy returns. Next, Harry. Harry, you've turned the big 3-0 today. And I know this because your girlfriend Katie wrote to me and told me you've been watching for a long time, and that you've been trying to help her get into cryptic crosswords. Well, I think there are a few ways I'd recommend of doing that. None of them involve buying a book. There are books you can learn cryptic crosswords from, but they are very, very difficult to read, in my opinion. I actually recommend things like Minute Cryptic, and particularly probably our Friday masterclass every week, because every week we go through from the very beginning. We don't assume any prior knowledge. We try and explain how the clues work. So if you really do want to get into it, Katie, that might be a way to do it. Anyway, Harry, happy 30th, my friend. I hope you get some very heavily iced chocolate cake. And last but not least, I have a birthday for Shannon and a birthday for Chloe. Shannon is Dan's sister, and Chloe is Dan's stepsister, but they share a birthday. So Shannon's turning 27, Chloe's turning 26, and I had the most amazing email from Dan, actually. I'm just trying to pick out the highlights of it. He told me neither of you have any interest in Sudoku whatsoever, but he claimed that you might overhear this message and therefore still enjoy it. I hope that's true. He's so proud of you, by the way. He says that, Shannon, you're doing law, I think, at university and acing all your exams. And Chloe, Dan described you as a teacher of naughty children. I think he was being very euphemistic there. But he is completely inspired by both of you, and admitted that he finds it hard to keep up with you both, which I thought it's a sort of really endearing thing to say. And I know, well, Dan told me you're all going to Spain for a summer holiday, and he's really looking forward to seeing you then and the rest of the family. So to Shannon and to Chloe, many happy returns. I hope there is chocolate cake in store for the both of you. Now, let's have a look at Dutch Summer by Tim Hasselaar, and I will read you the rules of the puzzle. What have we got to do today? We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Let me just check that the thing is recording. I think it is. That's good. Phew. The instructions then say, it's summer in the Netherlands. Unfortunately, that still means there's a high chance of bad weather, and thus fog. Unique to the Dutch summer is that the orange Dutch whisper lines are also region sum lines. So 2 cells connected by the orange line must have a difference of at least 4, but for each line, digits on the line have an equal sum within each 3x3 box the line passes through. So if we could colour these blue and orange, we would do that. So what does it mean? It means that this line here, you can see it goes as sort of a segment created by its passage through box 7, and then it enters box 8 and it forms a new segment, and then it enters box 9 and forms a new segment. And all of these three segment sums is the same. We don't know what it is. Well, some of you may know what it is if you know a secret, but we have to deduce. So the sum of the green digits will be the same as the sum of the purple digits will be the same as the sum of the indigo digits. And that's going to be the same for all orange lines. But there's an additional constraint. I don't dare put a big number in case I luck out and it clears fog. But let's say this digit was a 1. Because adjacent digits on this line have to be at least 4 different, this would have to be a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 in order to be sufficiently different from the digit 1. So there's sort of 2 rules in play. It's a duality type situation. There's 2 rules in play for these lines today. Oh, okay. Right. Now there's one more rule. Additionally, there is a global entropy. This means that every 2 by 2 square of cells must contain a low digit, which is a 1, 2, or a 3, a middle digit, a 4, 5, or a 6, and a high digit, a 7, 8, or 9. So imagine this digit was a low, this was a low, and this was a middly. We would know that this digit must be a 7, 8, 9 to make sure that that 2 by 2 had a high digit in it. So that is a rule I don't see very often. And it then says placing a correct digit might clear extra fog. So fog of war is obviously this wonderful idea that's been around in Sudoku now for 3 or 4 years. But the basic idea is that, if you get this cell, it might clear some fog. It might clear the fog from up there. But Tim will have built the logic in the puzzle such that we don't need to guess. We can just use the cells we can see to deduce things and hopefully gradually clear the fog in the way Tim intends. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm going to start with the secret because that must be relevant. The secret is something I share with only my very favourite people, and we saw it, an allusion to it earlier in the difference between the number of solves of puzzle 11 and 12 in Blob's Hunt. The secret of Sudoku is 45. Why? Well, that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9, so I know that this row sums to 45 because it must contain the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 once each, and if you sum those digits, you get 45. Now, we know that this line is split into 3 segments of equal sum, so each segment must sum to 15, and the same is true for the bottom line, obviously, which I suppose also means that because this box must sum to 45, because it's got the digits 1 to 9 once each in it, and I know that's 15, and I know that's 15, I also know that's 15. And that's 15, and that's 15. Now, unfortunately, I suspect I'm now going to have to think about Dutch whispers, and I find Dutch whispers about twice as difficult as I find German whispers. And it's because most of the secrets that you can use for German whispers don't quite apply on Dutch whispers lines. So, let me mention a couple of things, just in case it's relevant. If a 5 isn't so let's look at those cells. I just want to think about these cells. And let's imagine 5 is not present in those 6 digits. Then we could deduce something about how the high-lowness of the various cells must be dispersed along the line. Because if no 5 is involved in here, let's say this digit was lower than 5, could this also be a lower than 5 digit? The answer is no, because the furthest these can be apart is 3 if they were 1 and 4. So what happens if there's no 5 on a Dutch whisper is you'll get this oscillation. Now, why am I stipulating that 5 is more complicated? Well, it is, frankly, because 5, rather annoyingly, can be next to 1 and 9. And therefore, if 5 makes an appearance on one of the, and it must make an appearance somewhere, I suppose, in row 8 and row 9, this oscillation that I was just demonstrating, where all of these digits would either be low or high, is broken. And that is because, imagine this was 5, and this was 1, and this was 9. You can see these are most certainly of opposite highness and lowness. This is a very low digit, this is a very high digit, and that's totally fine along the line. And then from there onwards, it will oscillate. So this would be a 2, 3, or a 4, and this would be a 6, 7, or an 8. And that's why these are complicated, is that they exhibit certain regular properties unless and until you hit a 5. And I will also say that you could have a 5 at one end of the line, and if you have a 5 at one end of the line, then the rest of the line will oscillate. So there doesn't need to be a change of polarity along the line. It's just there could be if 5 is in any of the middle positions. I'm wondering if it might be better to think about the region sum qualities, though. 9. There's got to be a 9 somewhere in this row. Now 9, whichever segment 9 is in, let's just imagine it was in this segment. What do we know about it? It must be accompanied by 2 digits that sum to 6 within its segment. Now, rather annoyingly, they could be 1 and 5, exactly as we've just been talking about. They could also be 2 and 4, couldn't they? No, right, they can't actually. Right, that's okay. This is the first, I think, meaningful point that I've managed to come up with. Right, so 9 is somewhere along this line. Wherever 9 is, it has 2 digits accompanying it in its segment. Now, what would happen if it was like this? And the problem we've got with this is that we still haven't put 5 along the line. Now, when we put 5 along the line, what digits can be next to 5 on a Dutch whisper? Only 2, the digit 1 and the digit 9. So the digit 5 is going to have a 1 next to it, but it is going to be in a segment that also sums to 15, and 9 plus 1 plus what is 15? 5 plus 1 plus what is 15? 5 plus 1 plus 9 is 15, isn't it? So if we did try to accompany a 9 with a 2-4 pair to make 15, we'd need a second 9 on the line in order to deal with the 5. So actually, I don't know how to do this, maybe we'll make a note of it. We know that the 9, wherever it appears on either of these lines at the bottom, is going to be accompanied by 1 and 5. It's the only way we're going to get the additional 6. We can't double 3 it, can we? That's going to break Sudoku. So somewhere there is 9, 5, 1. So what do we do with the 8 then? Because the 8 is going to have 2 digits accompanying it that sum up to 7, that aren't 1, 7, and aren't 3, 5. Sorry, not 3, 5, 2, 5. Hang on, I've just added to 8 twice, haven't I? 8. 8's going to have to go with 3, 4. But because 1, 6 and 2, 5 are ruled out, which means that the third variation is going to be 2, 6, 7. So there is roping, which might be interesting in these two I've got no idea how I'm going to show this, but because the combinations that sum to 15 have to be these. Let's say this was 267. I know one of these is 267. Let's just say it's this one, just for the sake of exposition. You can see now that 2, 6, and 7 have to appear in those cells by Sudoku. But that means if we look at these 3 digits, whatever they are, where do they go? Where do those 3 digits go in this box? Well, none of these purple digits are equal to 267, so they're going to go there and there, aren't they? And these digits then are going to go there and there. So you get this sort of stripy effect. Now, it's hard to know quite how to deal with this, because I have no idea how I'm meant to know. I've put 267 in here, and then I've assumed it goes there. But this blue thing might not be 267, and whatever it is might go in green instead. So we could get roping like that. And there's no way that the logic. Oh, the global entropy thing. Oh no, that's horrendous. Please don't be that. Okay, no, I very much doubt it is that, because each of these, if we look at each of these options, they each contain one of each type of entropy. They've all got one low digit, one middly digit, and one high digit. So, so I really don't think I'm going to have to delete all this because it's probably wrong. But I don't see how, if I knew this was 267, say, I could know anything about, that 2 by 2 or that 2 by 2 or even this 2 by 2. It's not these, is it? It might be. It might be, actually. Because this one, that's got to take... Well, hang on. It can't just go out, can it, of box 9? Because if it did, well, let me show you. If it did, we know this segment is equal in size to this segment, and I don't have to worry today about booster cells. So that would be a Sudoku problem. If this was a 5, that would also be a 5. And that most certainly breaks the whisper as well, the whisper qualities. So this is going to have to do at least that. But now it could break for the hills in a variety of ways. Can it take all 3? Probably not. No, definitely not. Definitely not. We know that because those 3 digits sum to 15. We worked that out earlier, and I can't write 15 into this cell. So in fact, whether this goes any further or not, this line is made up of 2 Dutch whisperable digits being summed, i.e. there's a difference of at least 4 between these digits, summing to this digit. So, which is also itself Dutch whisperable from that digit. So hang on, so we know that. Well, how do we do this then? Because these 3 digits are from one of these sets. We know that. Right. That's really interesting. So 348 doesn't work here. Because if this was 348, what would we put onto these two cells? We couldn't put 3 and 4. They're not 4 apart from each other. So 8 would be included. And 8 plus 3 or 8 plus 4 makes this a double-digit number, which doesn't work. So this is not correct. Now, what about 159? 9 couldn't go on the line, so it would have to be 1 and 5. So it would be 1 and 5 adding to 6, and that would have to be, the 6 can't go next to the 5, so it would have to be in that order, 6, 1, 5, and then this would be a 9. So if this is 159, that is what happens. And the other option, let's just delete that for a second. If it was 267 here, this couldn't be 67. Ha ha! All school children moan as a result of that. It couldn't be. Oh, but it could be 26 or 27. So that would be 8 or 9. So this couldn't be 6 or 7. So this would be 2, and this would be 6 or 7, and that would be 6 or 7. So, okay, so hang on, let me just get this right. So because we had another option, didn't we, for if 159. If it was 159, this was 1, this was 5, this was 9, and 5 plus 1 is 6. So this digit is 6, 8, or 9. So it's either from the 267 set. It could be from any of them. Or it's from the 834 set. It's not from the 834 set. That's interesting. Because if this is 8, this digit has to be 3 or 4. But, yeah. It's a similar point, isn't it? This line, I don't know where this line goes. But I do know that it doesn't stop in this cell. Because if it stopped in this cell, those two digits would be the same. So it goes another cell on, and that could be in any of those positions. At least it might take 2 more cells in this box, or that probably breaks Dutch whispers. But wherever it goes in this box, I know that the digit it goes to, let's just say it's this one, just for the sake of exposition again. What's the difference between those two cells? Well, it's at least 4, which means the minimum this could be is 1 plus 5 equals 6. That's the absolute minimum. So this cannot, if this is 8, this would be a 3 or a 4 and it won't work. And yeah, I've just said 5 doesn't work. This is at least a 6 because we're adding at least 1 plus 5. So if this is 9, this has a max. We know these 3 digits would be 159. So that could be a 5, but no higher. And you couldn't make this work. That's absolutely brilliant, actually. Isn't that clever? It's really clever that these 2 lines are actually the key. But in order to understand that this has to be a 6, you have to do quite a bit of thinking about how this works. I really like that. Yes, and we're right. So that's 6, that's 1, that's 5, that's 9. So if this is 6, it's from the 2. So this is 7 then. Oh, and it just was. And hang on, and it went up. So that's good. We didn't have to adjust the line. Yeah, okay. So this digit has to be 4 different from 7 at least. So, but it can't be 3 because then this would be at least 8. So it's 1 or 2, and then this digit is either, if this is 1, this is 6. If this is 2, this is 5. Except that doesn't work. 2 and 5 are only 3 apart. So it's got to go 1, 6. Oh, you rotten thing! I thought that was going. Hang on, we can delete this now. I think this has got to be 3, 4, 8. Actually, maybe I shouldn't delete that. Hang on. Let me just think about this for a second. So what are we now saying? I still haven't used the global entropy thing, have I? We probably need to think that through. So what I'll do is I will highlight. I'll use blue for low, and what should we use for high? Red or orange? Maybe red, because we. Oh no, I can't really. Maybe orange then. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. These are the decisions that plague us. I'll use green for middly. And we know every 2 by 2. Yeah. So you look at this cell. We haven't got a green in that 2 by 2. So that is green, and it's not 6. So that's 4 or 5. Now this digit, that 2 by 2, hasn't got a high in it. So that's got to be high. And that's 7, 8 or 9. Maverick has taken off now. We've had all the colours in that 2 by 2, so this one is totally, that's a free choice, I think. Oh dear, this is bad news, is it? So am I going to have to, I'm going to have to think more about these things, I suspect. So I know one of these is 159. Yeah, okay, so that's important actually. Because what that tells me is that whichever one of these is 159, the 5 is in the middle of the line. Now 5 only has two neighbours on a Dutch whisper, 1 and 9. So the 5 has to be in the middle of the 1 and the 9, which means it's in one of those two cells. Now, the other combination is 3, 4, 8. That's not appeared here or here yet. And the 8 is going to have to be in the middle of that combination in order to be... I mean, hopefully you can see that, but imagine you did try and put the 4 in here, then 3 would border the 4 on one side of it, and 3 and 4 are not 4 apart. So we're going to put 5, 8 here. I don't know what that does. It probably does something. So if this was 5, that's a green digit. So this digit would need to be low, wouldn't it? I think that's true, but if this is 8, so this is always low. That's going to be important because that's going to be high. Right, let's think about this, because I might have got this wrong. If this is 5, that's a green. So in that 2 by 2, I need a blue, which would be here. So this would be a 1 or a 3. Oh, well, if it's 5, it would be a 1. But if this is 8, it's an orange, and I still need a blue in that situation. And the only blue digit that goes with 8 is 3. So this is a blue digit always, whether this is 5 or 8. And now that little 2 by 2 hasn't had an orange, so it needs an orange. And that orange is not 9, so that is 7 or 8. Close. But no, hang on. It can't be 8. Because we know 8 goes with 3 and 4. So if this is 8, those are a 3, 4 pair. It's got to be 7, 2, 6. That's huge. It's got to be that. So 7, 2, 6, 8, 3, 4. And now we can colour things in. That's blue. That's green. That's high. That we don't know. And we actually don't know. What about this? We do know this. That's got to be green. So that's got to be 4. That's got to be 3. 7. Oh, that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. This is now an 8, look. By Sudoku. This is 5. So that's 3. That's 4. This is a 1, 9. I don't believe it. That must be resolved by something. Let's work it out. Let's do the global entropy. So those two are green. This one, oh no, that's free. That's a free choice, isn't it? Maybe. Oh no, this one isn't free. That's got to be low, hasn't it? There's no blue in those. So this is the 1. That's the 9, and that's therefore orange. And therefore this is 159. This digit has to be not 1, that would be too close, not 5. Yeah, that's got to be a 9. So this is a 1, 5 pair. Okay, that's not resolved actually, because this digit 9 is far enough away from either 1 or 5, and obviously 1 and 5 can be adjacent because they are 4 different, so that's orange. These digits, well, these digits are 2, 6, 7, and we know we need to put the 2 in the middle to chaperone the 6 and the 7, and keep them well apart from their memeing nature. This is blue. That's had its colours. Look at the 2 by 2 in the bottom left. That's definitely got 1, 5 and 2 in it, so it hasn't had an orange. So that corner digit's going to have to be the orange, which makes it the 7. This the 6. 6 is the green. Still not sure I know quite how to do that one. That one's done, unfortunately. That's got all the colours it could ever want. This has got low and middly in it. So there does have to be a high in that 2 by 2, which is going to have to be the 8. So this isn't an 8, but this could still be middly or low. I really like this. It's a very, very nice puzzle. And I'm now... Oh, this is a 5 by Sudoku. Oh, I got another reveal. So 3 is in one of those cells in box 5. Let's extend the line. Again, it's a similar thing to what we learned about these two. This thing has to go further, otherwise these are the same. So this digit is at least a 6, because wherever this goes, you're adding 2 digits that are 4 apart. And it can't be a 6, so that is a 7 or an 8 and is therefore orange. And that's unfortunately got all of its 2 by 2-age, hasn't it? Okay, I'm not sure what to do with that. This digit by Dutch Whispers has to be no bigger than 4. If this was 8 and we deduct 4 from it, it could be a 4, but it can't be a 4, so it's now a 2 or a 3 because it can't be a 1. And 2 or 3 is blue, so that is a blue. And then wherever it goes, it's at least... I see. Right, we're adding to at least 8, actually, because even if this was 2 and we only added 4 to it, we would get a 6 as the next digit. So we're adding 2 to 6 at a minimum, and therefore this is 8. Didn't clear fog, always slightly discombobulating. Oh, so this can't be 3, can it? Because then this is going to get too big. 3 plus 7 is 10. So this is 2, and we are adding 6 to it. And there it goes there. Fantastic. So what does that mean? Don't know yet. 5 is a bit restricted in this box. Oh, okay, here is a beautiful point. I don't know if I need to do things like this, but I'm definitely doing it. Look at that cell. Now that cell, this is going to give me this digit. This digit, if we look at this domino, I've had no blue digits yet in this 2 by 2. And this can't be blue at all. It sees 1, it sees 2, and it sees 3 in its column. So this digit is definitely not blue, which means this digit is definitely blue, and it sees 1 and 2. So that is 3. I think it cleared fog, I'm not sure. Now there must be a 1. Oh no, that's just fatuous Sudoku nonsense. I was going to say there had to be a 1 in there for the 2 by 2 rule. Oh, goodness. Why does Bitdefender do that? I'm going to check that's still recording. Yeah, it's okay. Bitdefender like pops up with these adverts. I don't want any adverts. Okay. Oh, right. I see another point I can do now. Look at this 2x2. It needs a green involved in it. And that cell sees all the greens. It sees 4, 6, and 5. So that's got to be green, and that sees 5 and 6. So that's a natural 4 it cleared fog, but not in a good way. This has now got to be a high digit to make that 2x2 complicit or compliant, and that's an 8 or a 9. And this needs a green, so that's a straightforward green 4 that we get from that. It's a weird rule, this global entropy thing. It's much more powerful than you sort of give it credit for. This digit's orange by the same rule. So it's the same as that digit by Sudoku. There must be an orange in this domino, otherwise this 2x2 fails. So that's not orange up there. That might not matter. Oh, one of these. Oh, this is interesting. One of these has to be a blue digit, and it can't be a 2 or a 3. So this is a 1-5 pair now. So this is a high digit. This is a 7, 8, or a 9, but it's not a 9 by dint of Sudoku. So that's had all of its nonsenses. That's had all of its nonsenses. That's had all of its nonsenses. Bobbins. Bobbins. Okay. Oh, I could be about to get badly stuck now. that could well happen, couldn't it? What do you think we have to do next? Well, hang on. Have I made an error here? I'm just saying if this is 5, I don't think I can put 5. Oh, yes, the way to do this is much simpler. Where's 5? Oh, hang on, no, there is a 5. I'm just talking, I'm going mad. I actually think I've gone mad. That's distressing. 2 is in one of those cells. So 3 is over here. 2 is over here by Sudoku. I feel like it must be that somehow, but I don't. Oh, what about high? There's a point. There has to be a high digit in that 2x2, and it's not this one, so it's not that one. If that can't be 2. So this digit. Oh, that's massive. Look at this cell. That's got to be orange by dint of the 2x2 rule, but it sees 9, so it's a 7 or an 8, and now I've got a 7-8 pair in row 6, so that's a 9. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. And we said this was the same as that, didn't we? So that's a 7. And now I've got 2, 3, and 9 to place in row 4. But can we do any tricks with that? We can get rid of 2 from that one, 3 and 9 from this one. That's a naked 2. And 2 is a blue digit. This needs a blue. So that digit's a 1 or a 3. And is definitely blue. This little quadruple needs a green, and that is not going to deliver it, and this doesn't deliver it, so the green is there, and that's a 4 or a 5. I thought that was going to be better than that. What are those 2 digits? Oh, what a 2. Where's 2 in this row? I can just do it. So 2 goes in, and this digit is a 6, maybe? Yeah, 6. Oh, okay, that's huge. 6 and 3 There's a Dutch Whispers line coming out of there. 6 and 3 are too close together, so that's got to be a 1. Then it goes up there, that's got to be a 5. Then it goes here, that's now not 3, so that's a 9. This goes there, well, that's got... Oh, okay, that's a win for the goodies, isn't it? That is a win for the goodies. So let's fully pencil mark now. I've got 3, 9 here. I've got 4, 8 there. But I'm sure we can do better than that. 2 is blue. 6 is green, so that's done. This one, oh, that's done, isn't it? This needs a high, which is where it could get from an 8 or a 9. 9 is high, 3 is low, 1 is low, and 5 is middly. Bother. I don't see what to do with that. Okay, column 3, what do I need? 2, 3, 4, 8 is what we need. So one of these has to be 8, I'm going to allege now. And the reason for that is one of these has to be a high digit, because remember that these lines always oscillate unless 5 is involved in them. And if 5 is involved in them, 5 must be surrounded by the 1 and the 9 in order to change the polarity along the line. And if I put a 5 in either of these cells, well, these don't seem to be able to be 1s and 9s, so I can't do that. So the polarity must be consistent on this section at the top here, which means this polarity is the same as this polarity, and this polarity is the same as that polarity. And that means, because 2, 3, and 4 are the same polarity, the only high polarity digit we have available is 8. So one of these is 8. Another one is a high digit, being a 6, 7, or not a 6, at least a 7. So this segment has got at least 15 plus 1 plus 2 on it, which is 18. And this, okay, so this segment, if this was a 4, it would only add up to 16. I think that top segment adds up to at least 18. So that's 8, that's 4. This is now, 8 now goes here. That did clear fog. Oh, I see. So this being 8 means this can't be 9. They would be too close together on the whisper. And that 3 gives me a 3 and a 4. Oh, I've just taken the wrong digit out. This is 2, 4, 8 now. And the total here is 20. So, now we know the polarity. We can't put the 8 there, so the 8's got to go at the top, because these can't be 2 8s adjacent on the line, look. So this is a 2, 4. This digit is high and is 7 or 9. So, and this digit is low and can't be 2, 3, or 4, so that's got to be a 1. So those two have to, they have to add to 11, and they can in 2 ways. That's right, isn't it? I've got 8 plus 1 is 9. That sort of franks that 9 there. So 3 plus 8 must be the sum of those two, which is 11. But I see. But that's okay, because 4 and 7, which is one way to make 11, 4 and 7 are not 4 apart. So it can't be that. It's got to be 2 and 9. That's lovely. 2, 9, 4. I've been very remiss on my shading for a little while. Let me just try and correct that. Sorry. Now 1 and 2 are blue. Purple is orange. The 1, 5 at the bottom is done. 5 is green. 8 is high. 1 is blue. This digit's a 7 by Sudoku, which is orange. So these digits are 3, 5, 6. Which is, it looks good from a Sudoku perspective. That's got to be that's got to be the 3 because we need a blue in that 2 by 2. So that's blue. 5 and 6 are both green, so we could actually fill them in. I don't think we know the order. We're going to have to get some stuff done over on the right of the grid. Although, we're going to need Sudoku to do some help there, aren't we? I'm trying to see where the Sudoku is. It there? Is that looks good? Yeah, we've got 4 and 9 in the row and not 4 and 9 in the column, which means this cell sees 8 different digits because there are 6 digits there and 2 digits there. So that should be a naked single if I could work it out. That's a 2, I think. It's the only digit that's not. So 2 is blue. So what do we need in this column? 4 and 9. Oh, that's distressing. 4 and 9 not resolved. 2, 4, 9. Okay, now this digit is naked as well. This time we've got 2, 4, 9 in the row, but we don't have 2 and 4 in the column. So this is a naked 7. And that did at least work. So those digits are 2 and 4, and this time I do know the order. We're using this 2. So 2, 4, 4, 9. 4s we know are green. 2s we know are blue. 9s we know are orange. Oh, I was going to say that digit, but actually it's got all the colours it needs. 1, 6, 9. So 9 goes in this column here. This is a 1, 6 pair. Let's see if entropy is going to come. Yeah, that's got to be a green in order to give us a green in that little congregation. That's done the 6 and the 5 over there. That gets me a 6 in this box, which I should greenify immediately. This is 3 and 8, which we can do. Oh, 8, 3. 8 is orange, 3 is blue. So this is a 3. Those are both blue. This needs to be orange and therefore is an 8. I don't know if we needed to do it that way, but that's the way I've done it. This is a 5. I mean, I think we're there now, aren't we? 5, 1, 7. 5s are green, 1 is blue, 7 is high, and that, I think, is the solution to the puzzle. The Sudoku's worked, which suggests it's right, and it is. Wonderful. Really, really enjoyed that. Not that straightforward, actually. And I like the fact, I do enjoy puzzles where you have to do a bit of thinking first in order to work out how to start them. And I like the surprise that actually it was those 2 lines that were completely essential in order to work out how to place a digit. So Tim, very much enjoyed. Brilliant puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and hopefully we'll see some of you for our stream, which should be starting relatively soon. See you then. Bye for now.